Hey guys, MoiDawg here, and today we're talking Easter, specifically Easter eggs in Squad. Although the game itself has a reputation for being a serious tactical shooter, edging on a milsim, it has a long history of not taking itself too seriously, since, after all, Squad's roots lie firmly in the old Battlefield modding scene with Project Reality. As the years have gone by, a number of Easter eggs have slowly been removed, namely those that might have directly referenced old developers, but we can still see a whole host of secrets throughout nearly every map in Squad. Some of these things are simply fun for players to find, whereas others might directly reference some older devs or community members, certain Squad locations that might not exist anymore, as well as some fun memes. With that being said, let's get started. In line with our holiday theme, the first Easter egg is located in Behringer. As the first map in Squad to have snow, it's no surprise that the devs wanted to have fun with it and include something festive. To find the Christmas tree, you'll need to spawn at the Russian main in the northeast part of the map, exit on the north side, and take a right. Although you won't see this path if you're not looking at the minimap, hang a left at the boulder and tree, and you'll eventually run into a small hidden house surrounded by rocks. Inside is a Christmas tree. Now, the Christmas tree might be a bit harder to find since you'll almost never run into it in a real game of Squad. The next few Easter eggs are probably ones you've seen while you're moving across the map, with the first one being in Yeho. Located in East Mogi, you might have stumbled upon a grave marker with the word storage site on it. To get to this, head to the building just southwest of the three-way intersection in the north part of the objective. When Yeho was added to the game in Alpha 7 way back in August 2016, it was significantly different than what we play on today. The original play area was much smaller, and one huge point of interest was called Storage Site, a giant industrial complex where current Mogi is located at. Talk to any older Squad player and they will probably have stories of how amazing old Yeho was with Storage Site, and it was known to be a pretty big meat grinder as well. Yeho was eventually updated 2 years later in November 2018 with Alpha 12, and Storage Site was replaced with what we see today. The only evidence of the past objective is now a small gravestone in the back of a shack in East Mogi. There are two other gravestones in Kamdesh, and these reference two former devs, Axton and Chancebra, who were responsible for development of a lot of older Squad maps. Now, they're not actually dead, but this was a bit of a maker's mark, which isn't uncommon in map development, especially when you take into consideration a lot of these guys started as modders and eventually turned map development and just general dev work into a full-time job. To see these gravestones, you'll need to be at Paprok and head just outside the northwest buildings. I wouldn't be surprised, however, if this one does end up getting removed, since a lot of other mentions of past devs and maps have been scrubbed clean. Another set of grave markers are located in Fool's Road, but unlike the previous ones, you'll notice there are no words on them. Although you might not see them nowadays, these actually used to say AMD Users on it, a joke referencing old performance issues with Unreal Engine games for those who had AMD cards. When Squad fixed a notoriously bad performance problems about a year or so ago, we then saw an updated grave marker simply stating AMD Users pre-Ryzen. I thought this was always fun to see, but unfortunately in today's map they'll just be blank. Still, if you'd like to get to this area, head to the shacks just southeast of the Hilltop Fortress on the northwest corner of the map. Moving over to Mestia, I'm sure most people have run down past the waterfall and seen the sign that says Salt Mines, an obvious reference to players getting salty in game. But many people might not realize there is another secret spot located on the map. About halfway between Armory and Warehouse, you'll see a small farmhouse. From there, run up the hill to the northwest and you'll see a small set of rocks and a weird bright light shining out of an opening. It may be hard to tell, but if you look down closely, you'll be able to see a golden leek on a pedestal. This one took me a while to find because in the past you could actually find a small cave opening and walk into the leek cave itself, seeing not only the leek, but the words fast ropes, which would then point you towards a hole in the ground, a tongue-in-cheek joke that hinted we'll never really be getting fast ropes. Unfortunately, it looks as if most of this cave has been removed. The fast ropes text is gone, and we are left with a small shining memory of a really funny Easter egg. Another funny one can be found throughout any map that has a Porta Potty. Normally, you probably aren't paying too much attention to these since you're trying not to get shot, but if you slow down and stay quiet, you may just hear something special. Yes, all of these porta potties have noises attached to them, so if you're in the mood for some lighthearted toilet humor, head to the nearest one, drop a rally, and enjoy. For those of y'all that have played the tutorial, which hopefully is everyone, you've probably done enough exploring to find the laptop in the main training area with the image of Squorn Hub, a reference which I don't think I have to explain. But you might not have known that you can actually find a hidden shrine to the sphere. New players might not get this reference, but the sphere is an old squad meme which began because of map bugs which would result in a lighting sphere in Unreal Engine actually appearing randomly in certain areas.
When I get near it, it makes weird noises and it shape shifts into different shapes.
The sphere is real eventually became gospel, and you'll even see this meme in the startup text of helicopters when the engine warms up. Well, it's true, and the sphere is real, and you can find it by first loading the Logi and then running outside the gated shooting range about halfway through the map. Here you'll see the shrine, and as you get closer, the sphere. This is an awesome Easter egg that has fully embraced the meme, and I challenge you guys to try and survive the zombie horde as long as possible, since you'll start to get bigger and better zombies the longer you're up. Now for this one, I actually don't really want to spoil the location of it, since it is kind of cool, but I will say it's in a tiny shack in the hills in about the center of the map on Goose Bay. Here, you'll see a streamer's den with some familiar logos like yours truly and Karma Cuts, but also a few that you might not know. The Better Ryan, Winter Sin, Bacon Noob, Namps, The Geeky Panda, and Ironclad Lion. All of these guys are awesome squad community members and content creators, so I definitely go give them a search. Now, if you've ever played Kohat, you might have been on the objective called Hangu Pitch before and wondered why it was called that. Well, that's because there is actually a pitch on it, or for those of us that use good old American English, a soccer field. In every map made by level designer Tim Head, better known as AF Soccer, you'll find a soccer field. It's a nice maker's mark that fits right into the maps themselves, and I challenge you to find all of the soccer fields in the squad. For our final Easter egg, however, we have a not so subtle maker's mark. If you've been in the squad community for a while, you probably know the name Zeno, a dev who did a lot of map work and is responsible for the Imperium mod and is now working on Beyond the Wire. You might be familiar with the objective called Zenos Homestead on Yeho, which he actually had no part in naming, and it actually came to a surprise to him one day while playing in game. The point itself is fairly plain, with a couple barns and farmhouses, but if you look just west, you may see what looks strangely like an upside down E. This may seem like a weird terrain feature, but it is actually on purpose, and if you flip the minimap around and zoom out, you'll actually see 4 letters across the entirety of the map: Z, E, N, and O. Spelling, obviously, Zeno. This isn't just a mini-map signature either, but if you were to fly directly overhead and look down, you'll see the darkened terrain spelling out his name. I do want to apologize in advance to Zeno if this does get removed because of this video, but it is just too good not to mention it. There's a few other fun things floating around like watermelons that bleed and billboards for postscriptum, but I think that wraps up all the big Easter eggs in Squad. Let me know your favorite one in the comments below, and if I did miss anything, feel free to post those too. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. But that's it for me. Until next time, peace.